Problem number 9 is a decimal subtraction problem, and really again intended to be a mental math problem. But I'm going to do this problem two ways. I'm going to do it using a standard algorithmic way of subtraction, and then I'm going to do this a mental math way that I would tend to do a problem like this. So normally we'd look at this and say 2 minus 8 doesn't work. We have a decimal point there that's going to get carried down, so we're going to want to make sure that that gets carried down. But before we do that, we're going to need to borrow from the 5 and turn it into a 4, and then make this into 1.2, or we'll think of it as a 12 in this case. 12 minus 8 is 4. And we put the decimal point there, and then 4 minus 1 is 3. And that seems to be a real simple way to do this problem, again, as long as we don't make any mistakes with our borrowing or making sure we put the right numbers there. That makes sense. But I would not do this problem that way. I would simply look at the problem like this: 5.2 minus 1.8. And I would think of how far is 1.8 from 5.2, because that's what subtraction is. Really, literally, if I were to draw a number line, and I think here's 1.8 on the number line, which means it's not very far from 2, and then I'm trying to figure out where 5.2 is, which is just a little more than 5. And so really, I'm going to use this number line, and really I would do this in my head. From 2 to 5 is a difference of 3. And then I have 0.2 there, and I have 0.2 here, and so the distance between these two numbers is 3.4. I had to go 0.2 to get to the 2, so 0.2 up gives me the 2, and then 3 more gives me 5, and then 0.2 more gives me 5.2. So I go 3.2, 3.4, and I'm done. And so that sounds like it's a lot longer, but really I would have done all of that in my head and done it all almost in one step. 1.8 to 2, and then 2 to 5, and then to 0.2. Because that's all subtraction is. Subtraction is asking me how far is it from 5.2 to 1.8. In other words, what's the difference between these two numbers? And finding the difference is really about finding the distance between them. And the distance between 1.8 and 5.2 is the 3 and the 0.2 on either end, which gives me 3.4 for that problem.